Let's go. Steeler week. Is Josh McDaniels ready? Taking a lot of heat. We're going to talk about it tonight. Robert Pena's in the house. Brother, what's happening? Arkham Raiders here tonight. What's going on, Arkham? Salute, Knight. Salute right back at you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I'm hanging in there, brother. It's midweek. I'm feeling pretty good. 2 more days left, and the weekend is upon us. Combo's in the house. Salute, Knight. What's up, Combo? Nick 209. What's up, my brother? I don't see us winning Sunday night. I hope I'm wrong. Well, we're going to start that process tonight, and we're going to talk about what I think the offense needs to do. And I need your guys' help. I need your guys' insight. If I'm wrong, you guys need to set me right. Arkham. Cool. All right, let's fire up this camera real quick. We here. We live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Night of the Shield right here on the Las Vegas Raiders News Review, brought to you by Independently Blind Studios, where I aim to advocate, educate, motivate, and inspire other people who are going through sight loss or loss in general find their independence and a new way of life. That's right. It's the mission. That's the goal. As well as talk some Raider football. That's what we're here to do. That's what I love to do, man. The passion has been reunited. The candle has been relit inside me. I look forward to this every day. And then days I can't do it, it kind of drives me crazy. Friday was hard for me. I was like, man, I just ain't got the time to go out there and do it. But we're here. We live. It's happening. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be updated every time I drop another episode. And while you're here, all you in the chat, hit that like button for me. Let's continue to move up that algorithm. All right, we got a lot to talk about, but first I want to cover some small news, some small little things. One in particular, actually, and that is the Chandler Jones thing. I didn't want to report on anything unless I felt like it was relevant. And again, you know, with the attempt of not trying to make any type of excuses or make it seem like things are better than they are. He was put on the NFI list, the non-football injury list today. And to me, this solidifies 2 things for me. Number one, the Raiders surely care about Chandler Jones. Okay? The money's the money at this point. He's not on the field. He's not in the building. You know, it is what it is. There's a lot of different ways that this man gets paid and what he gets paid for. If you're going to put him on the NFI list, you might as well just cut the man. Honestly. Unless you believe that this man is going through something, and this is the second thing that it lets me know, is that he is going through something. And we don't know what it is. I'm not going to speculate whether or not it's drug-related or just a mental lapse. You know, we don't know. A lot of these things that happen to us mentally in our adult's life stem from childhood trauma or some sort of trauma in your life. And I've been a victim of a lot of this from my childhood all the way till current. I come from an abused household as a boy. Then obviously I got the sight loss thing that follows me around every single day. So I get it. So my prayers go out to Chandler Jones continuously as he battles whatever it is he's battling and whatever the cause may be. But it does look like, in the best way that they can at the moment, for the moment now, the Raiders are standing by him. And I'm going to be honest with you, that puts a little bit of smile on my face just to know that we haven't lost ourselves completely in a new era of Raider Nation. Okay, so let's go on. Let's see. Arkham Raider. Steeler game will be our bounce back game. It should be, and we're going to talk about that tonight because this is the prime reason. If we're going to win, it's going to be because of what we're talking about tonight. Time to make a statement, especially offensively. It's an offensive night. As you guys know, Wednesday is offensive night, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Arkham Raider again. Salute, Ray. Right on, brother. Raider John's in the house. Salute, brother. Good to see you. Next week, I'm going to try to get you back on. I think I know what's wrong with the echo. I'm currently working on it, and I want to get you in and get some other people on as well. Chili Pepper 28. Yo, Chili Pepper's in the house. Nick 209. Start with O-line and Jimmy G seeing the whole field. Yeah, and don't get caught up on what you see. I mean, make the right decision on your pre-snap read, but be ready to adjust on the fly and have everybody ready. Arkham Raiders, salute. John to Arkham. Arkham, Mark Davis has been a class act in the way that he is handling the Chandler Jones situation. 100%. 100%. I think in most situations, we even know he reached out to DC. DC made some comments recently talking about he looks forward to coming back and being once a Raider, always a Raider, and being able to celebrate his time here and the things that he was able to accomplish, you know, at least from a personal perspective. But there was definitely some moments from a team perspective as well. So, I mean, all those things are good things. Raider Ben, what's up, my brother? Strong, brother. Thank you. So let's see here. So real quick before we get started, because I think I may have got this figured out, just to give you guys a glimpse on what I do and how I'm doing this. I started off with the voiceover, which I will go back to because there's a benefit for having both the visual side of things, the way that I do it, as well as the technology that I use to read comments. Like if I'm watching Ben's show, Ben's here, right? If I'm watching Benther's show, I got my voiceover on to read comments, you know, so there's certain ways I navigate. And I'm not the best at it yet, but the fact that I'm able to do it, I couldn't do it back in 2016. It's one of the reasons why I left. But real quick, before we get started, I promise you I get the camera going. I got the third camera up and running. Let me show you my view on how I'm reading these comments. This is how big the comments are, okay? I wish I could put it on screen. Let me make sure okay, I got the camera on. All right. Let's find a good one here. Let's see. Let's find one with a lot of words. And what you guys are about to see is completely different than the way that I personally see it and how I have to read it. But there you go. That's how large my screen is. That is how large the print, and I still can't read it clearly. I still gotta, you'll see me lean in and read it at times, or I'll get double vision or it blurs out. And when there's long comments like this, it's harder for me to read because I have to keep readjusting my eyes to stay and find the line of where I stopped reading. But when I go down further, when I see Arkham here saying salute Ray, that's easy for me to read. It's easy for me to see because it's real small. I can make it out real quick and then just read it. But I've been telling you guys, I've been wanting to try to get this on. Let me go over here and make sure you guys could even see this. So this is my screen. This is my main screen right here. I can't even see myself. It's just glitching out. I'd have to lower the magnification. But anyway, enough of that crap. You guys don't need to see my madness. Let's get back to the other camera real quick. But yeah, that's the way I roll. I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat if that came out properly or not, if you guys were able to see how huge that was and how I'm doing this. I just wanted to share that perspective because I want you guys to know it's not a struggle. It's actually a blessing that I'm able to use technology the way that I do, magnification, so I can read your guys' comments and be a part of the community and listen to you guys and hear your voice. So it works for me. I'm pretty stoked about it. Nick 209. Okay, I think I'm already went back too far up the chat. I got to get back down here. Phil, let's see. Dang. He's like, dang. Yeah. Yeah, bro. I mean, like I said, I'm not trying to play around with y'all, dude. This is how I live my daily, bro. I haven't seen my kids' faces in probably like 6-7 years, bro. It's just a real blur. So to actually see their face, I'd have to, it'd be uncomfortable. I need to keep my space. But it is what it is, man. You know, it's a struggle. I tell the kids that I work with that being blind fucking sucks, and it never goes away. It's the only way to say it. You have your good days, you have your bad days, but, you know, you learn to get strong. You learn to battle through it. And trust me, I owe a lot to that shield. That shield, this community, Raider Nation, has really helped me through many tough times. Just me starting YouTube in general helped me out of a really bad situation that led me to where I'm at today. So that's why I share it with you. I know I want to spread positivity, motivation, inspiration, and hope. And it's, you know, my situation currently may be sight loss. I don't know what yours is, but don't give up. Find something you love and do it. Arkham Raider, major respect for making these videos happen despite the hurdles. No, I don't need no respect, but I appreciate Arkham. I do. This is what I want to do. I want to give everybody hope. In fact, getting ready to read a comment right here. It's my boy Kenny Classell. He is my partner over at Independently Blind. He as well is legally blind like I am. He's the one that's going to be going with me to Florida. We're going together. We're going to be kayaking and biking across Florida to Key West. We do a lot of stuff. He's also my partner. He helps me work with the youth. So Kenny's here. So Kenny says, yeah, he has a 55-inch. It's 55-inch monitor, y'all. hey, it's 43. It was 43, not 55. I wish it was 55. Wish it was a 55-inch monitor. I won't have to zoom it so much. But yeah, Kenny's in the house. Welcome, my brother. We're gonna get you on to talk some football. We gotta fix this echo thing I got when I go live, and we gotta get you on too. All right, so here we go. Let's get into the O. We gotta talk about this O, and I think it was Nick or Arkham that talked about it already. It does start with that O line. To me, once again, I mean that's step one, and the reason that's step one is not because of pass protection. I think our pass protection's on point. And Jimmy G hasn't got a sack on him yet this year. And we know that's not going to last forever. We know that day is coming. And we just got to hope and pray that he doesn't get hurt when it does, right? So check it out, man. So this is how we roll. This is how we do it. I think this is why they put in the jumbo sets and they're running double tight ends. I think they're trying to sustain Jimmy from getting hit and getting hurt. And it's not going to, at some point, football's football. When it's time to put in a jumbo package for protection, do it. Do it. I mean, I'm okay with it if the situation calls for it. But if you're going to primarily try to run jumbo set a lot to protect Jimmy, we're never going to get this offense moving in the right direction. So it does start with the offensive line. It does start with whether you have to change the scheme a bit. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about they should have done that already. They should have maybe did that last week. Look, if you have a system you believe in, you ran it last year, running game was our strength, you're not changing nothing. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But now it's starting to look broke. So maybe you might want to look in to see how you fix it, right? And if we could get the running game going, it completely opens up the rest of the field. And that's, to me, where it gets extremely interesting because that is Josh McDaniel's strength, is designing an offense that puts people in position to make plays in space. So I think it was Nick or Arkham that mentioned Jimmy G needs to see the whole field. I think it was Nick. And I, like I said, I don't know if it's coming from pre-snap, post-snap. I think that has a lot to do with what he's seeing and how he's reacting. We've seen plays where Hunter's wide open, and no, that's nothing against Hunter. There's not a conspiracy against Hunter. There's no reason to do that. You just trade the guy. And you don't care what you get from him. If you're that done with the guy, you don't misuse him to abuse him and then expect to get something back. I don't think this organization's that stupid. I just believe that it's situational. And whether Jimmy's not seeing the field or Jimmy's a little nervous himself, you got to remember, Jimmy's still trying to figure some things out. I know we talk a big game when it comes to Jimmy about, hey, he's been in the system before, but it was a long time ago. He's came from a whole nother system with Shanahan. He's got to unlearn that to relearn this, and maybe he's getting a little confused back there right now. But at the same time, he knows it enough. You're seeing him make the plays. You look at the first drive, which happens to be scripted, which might help him a little bit, right? But maybe he's starting to get confused and doing the check down thing too much and maybe getting a little happy feet and nervous. But the one thing that I saw from Jimmy G is that man is not afraid to get hit. He stands in the pocket. He'll take the hit. He'll make the play necessary to move the ball forward. So once we can figure out how we're going to open up these lanes for the running backs and get Josh Jacobs running and going, and Jimmy G starts to calm down a little bit, we got to get everybody involved. Everybody has to be involved. Josh McDaniel was on the podium today talking about, well, Jacoby Myers, he's on track. He never said he didn't think he wasn't going to play, which means that brought it in my mind. That's a 50-50 chance, and that's good odds in the NFL. So myself, I'm predicting and expecting that Jacoby Myers is going to be available for Sunday night, and he's going to be out there. And if that's the case, because we already got green lighted that Devontae's fine, if we're going to get that green light and we're going to have Devontae and Jacoby back out on the field, there's really no excuses for this offense at this point, okay? third game, this is where you're starting to, you want to see some type of growth. Okay. And I'm not going to use Jacoby as the excuse. We got plenty of weapons on this offense. Him not playing last week is not an excuse, but having him back just gives you more opportunity, more weapons. I'm waiting to see who they make inactive, to see if they bring Tucker up. You saw what Tucker was able to do with his speed. I want to see him get involved. Play Hunter. I don't think you necessarily design an offense around Hunter Renfrow, but you got to get him more involved instead of just one pass. You got to get these tight ends involved. We got to see what this rookie can do. Does a rookie have what it takes to go up the seam and make a big play? I want to see it. It's time to be tested. It's time to make that happen. Everything is in place. Honestly, everything's going to be there. If we have Devontae, Jacoby, Hunter, and whether it's Hooper or Mayer, if we have all of those guys on the field with Josh Jacobs running the rock, I'm sorry. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. If they're putting 8 in the box, you find a way to make a lane and make a run. Make a play happen in the run game. Stretch it out, change it up, do whatever you have to do. That should be part of the game plan. You should be practicing that now, right now. Or you do it plan B. You spread them out and you kill them. You kill them with weapons you have. They can't cover all these guys. To me, this is impossible. You saw the way that Jacoby was able to find the space and make the plays, and Devontae was I can't say the word, complimentary that day. Okay? But that could switch at any given moment. Those guys could take turns. Devontae followed up. Devontae had a great game. 87 yards, another 6 targets, over 10 yards a catch again, well over 10 yards again. This offense is designed and built for not the big play. Everybody wants the big explosion play. It's about getting in space, creating matchups, and moving the ball forward. That's what we need to do with offense. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below, man. Let me know in the chat. Hit me up right now, because this is the way I see it. Am I missing something? The biggest question is, why can't we run block? Why ain't we running the ball? Because the easiest thing to do is get Josh Jacobs going, and that literally, in this offense, will cure so many problems. It would be almost unfair, in my opinion. From what we already saw, the little snippets that we've seen of what this offense is capable of, we haven't seen it consistently yet at all. We haven't seen it for 4 straight quarters. This is the time to unleash the offense and try to reach its get as close as you can. I don't expect it to be perfect, but get it to the point where this is it. This is what we're working with. Let's make it happen. Raider Dangerfield in the house. Salute, Knight. Salute, brother. What's happening? Let's see. Salutations, Raider Nation. He's saying what's up to everybody. It just went off again. We got Chili Pepper 28. Facts. Appreciate that, Chili Pepper 28. So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Outside of this matchup Sunday night against the Steelers, this is how this team's going to win. This is how we were hoping to win those short games, those close games last season, right? The defense plays bend, don't break. It plays soft. We know that. We've already seen it the first 2 weeks. We already know where we're going to get on that side of the ball. This team is designed to score points. We got to keep up. We got to keep up and find separation through offense. Give the defense some time. Give them some rest. Switch this time of possession problem that we're having. And then just wait for the defense, because the defense has made stops in both weeks, right? And when they make the stop, we make the other team pay. That's the way we're built at the moment. Until the defense can find an answer, that's how we're built. We must score points. And the biggest thing that really held us back last year as well was our red zone numbers were bad. Our red zone numbers were horrible. So with this offense, with this quarterback, with this running game, with what we already seen and what we know we're pretty much capable of, we need to change the narrative. A little bit more touchdowns, a little less field goals, wait for the defense to make a couple of stops, and that's how we create the separation to win games. Easier said than done, But that's where we're at, nation. That's just simply where we're at. Nick 209. Let's see. Hold on, let me get it bigger again. The reason we can't run the ball, we run jumbo. We run jumbo opponents know when we're going to run. Yeah, but we're also in that jumbo package to pass protect too. But I get that. And if that is the case, if that's what the way the defense is seeing it, okay, we got jumbo package because they're really desperate to block and run, then we need to find a way to do it without jumbo package. We did it last year. You don't think they were lining up 8 in the box last year? We got the job done. And that's where Josh Jacobs needs to step up. That's where Josh Jacobs needs to be more innovative back there and see it before it happens. If he sees them coming, change directions, do whatever you got to do to make a play. Raider Dangerfield, we can't run block on offense and can't stop the run on defense. That's facts. That's facts. And that's because we're playing too far back. That's tomorrow night. I'm not going to get going. You almost got me going, Raider Dangerfield. You almost got me going because that's something that bugs the living crap out of me. Big time. And there's a reason for that too. And again, we talked about it. We mentioned it a little bit last night of what happened in Buffalo. We're losing in the trenches on both sides. And it disgusts me because that's all we hear. Doesn't matter who you talk to, who you listen to, how long you've been watching football. Somebody's told you at some point in time, you win in the trenches. That's where it starts. And yet, here we are again, struggling in the trenches. Now, got to give credit where credit's due. We're pass blocking really well right now. But we're only passing to like 2 people. That ain't going to work. First week, it was Jacoby and Devontae. Last week, it was Devontae and Jacobs. We got to get more people involved in the passing game. We got to start spreading defenses out. We have the weapons to do it. We spread them out. They're not going to have to. They'll still might load the box, but we're going to catch them eventually. They can't cover these guys, not even on a slant. Rolling Dubs is in the house. What's up, brother? Juan Tescarino is in the house. What's up, brother? We need the passing game to open up the run game. Yeah, and I think that's probably more of our most chance that we're going to have to open this up is go into that pass protecting pro that we do so well, that's kept Jimmy clean. Maybe not clean, but he hasn't had a sack yet. Spread these guys out and make them pay for having 8 in the box. And then that's when, because if we don't, that's what's going to make us unstoppable. Simply put, we've already said it, right? That's what's going to make this team nearly impossible to stop. Yeah, you pick your poison. You're going to load it in the box. We're going to get you on the outside. You're going to drop back in coverage. Jacobs is going to eat. And then we'll start killing you with the dig routes and the cross, the 5 and outs, the out routes, the in routes, slants. We'll kill you. Tight end up the seam. And honestly, if there was any type of credit I've ever given Josh McDaniels, especially when we brought him in as a head coach, and I started looking more into Josh McDaniels himself, I found a lot of footage of him and Bill Belichick on the sideline in the middle of a game, changing offensive formations to create matchups and lineup. This is what this guy is known for me anyway, from the stuff that I've gotten into, and it's bothering the hell out of me that he hasn't done it yet. He's smart enough to figure this out. And there's another little advocate part to that I want to get into. I want to talk about why that may be and why sometimes you have to put it on the coaching 100%. But if you know historically somebody, this is one of the things that they do, why wouldn't they be doing it? What would be the reason? Or is he doing it and there's something else happening? Nick 209, Raiders can't run the ball. Our defense is going to be tired. Again, we got to change that time of possession. That's one of the biggest things that's killing us right now. Rolling Dubs, gotta incorporate Trey Tucker more. I agree 100%. Adds a new dynamic to our offense. 100%. We saw that. We saw it in one play. We saw it in a jet sweep. He took it off for 34 yards, And he did get an opportunity to catch a deep ball. It should have been PI. The flag was thrown and then picked up. Kenny Clausell also running. Also running is running about timing. And since JJ wasn't in camp, that timing is all off right now. I could see that too, 100%. Like, I mean, you know, he mentioned it himself after the Denver game that he was a little off. He's got to get his legs under him and he's got to get in a rhythm. And again, you know, I think 1 week, you know, I mean, he was working out and stuff. He played a whole game. He played the whole game in Denver, had a whole nother week of practice. I expected more from him in Buffalo. Okay, so now we can start talking time zone and being on the road and this, that, and the third. Okay, fine. We home this week. We home this week with a little extra rest. We don't play till the evening. We got to get it going. Raiders Dangerfield. Let's see. Graf's been saying it's all off season and now. Let me see if I'm reading that right. Graf's been saying it. Oh, Graf's been saying it all off season now. Yeah, well, I mean, I watch Graf's show. I know what he's been saying, right? And it's true. It's not, I mean, you don't have to be an expert or an X's and O's guy to see some of the problems we're having. Now, one of the things that I do want to say, though, is, you know, we have to be careful sometimes with our opinions because, trust me, they watch. They were watching years ago. They're probably watching more now. And they know. And if any of us really had it like that, we would already got the call. We would already got the call. We would already be in the organization helping them fix the problem. So we got to let these guys that have been doing it for years and get paid a lot of money to make these decisions. But it's really frustrating when you can see it and you feel like they don't. Jonah's in the house. What's up? Hello from Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. What's happening? Nick 209. Players on O-line have to get pushed and win on blocking schemes. Let me just read that again so that I'll get my words right. Okay, players continue. Players on O-line have to get, push, and win on blocking schemes. Yeah, they got to win at the point of attack. They're getting pushed around in the running game. And I know I've been watching Graf and Wasted, and I think it was Wasted that kind of really went off the other day on Van Rotten, and I haven't been able to pull up anything and look at anything myself. I haven't had the time, but I trust Wasted. I do. I trust all these. There's certain guys that I listen to that I trust, and I you know what? One guy can really mess up your scheme. And you would think that these guys are smart enough to notice that and make a move, and they're not. And those are the types of things that concern me. But big picture, you got to light a fire. You got to hold them accountable. If they're not going to get the job done, we got to pull them. Rolling Dubs. Jacob isn't himself yet. Well, we've seen that. This is still like training. This is still like training camp for him. Yeah, I have a comment for that too. Should have things rolling by week 4 or 5. Okay, the only argument I'm going to make there, my rebuttal, and doesn't mean you're wrong, just my opinion, my thought, and I kind of just made it not too long ago. This ain't his first rodeo. It's his 5th year in the league. He may not have been at training camp getting the reps, getting pushed around, getting hit a little bit, running and getting the rhythm, and I understand that takes time. But outside of Greg Van Rotten, this is the same offensive line he ran behind last year. Same scheme. Different quarterback handing off? Yes. Getting more time to get in rhythm and get things going? Yes. But after 5 years, 2nd year in this offense, I'm not sure that it takes 4 or 5 weeks, bro. I mean, I hope not. I hope not. You know, I'm willing to chalk up these first 2 weeks as, okay, yeah. But I don't think I want to wait. I don't think we have the time to wait till week 4 or 5. And if that's the case, let's get Abdullah going. Let's get Bolden some reps. You know, I don't want to see Zeus at this point. And I think he needs to become the emergency back and try to get something going. If that's the case, then we should be able to find rhythm somewhere else. And maybe that's what we do to start wearing this team down. Maybe Zeus is the answer, believe it or not. Maybe we start Zeus. They're not going to put 8 in the box for him. Why not? He's a big bruiser. Let him pound on him a little bit and then sneak Josh Jacobs in and catch them slipping. I don't know. My whole point is we got to try something. Something's got to give. And one of the things, and I'll go ahead and bring it up here. Like I said, when I was looking into McDaniels when we picked him up as our head coach, one of his strengths was the in-game adjustments, lining up the offense to create mismatches, to get certain plays that they know they could hit open, get the right lineup, the right matchups, and exploit it. I highly doubt that he's not doing that anymore. So what it really comes down to is execution. And it's crazy because you see that. You see when the execution, and I'm not even saying when the execution's perfect, when the execution is good, whether he's going to his first, second, or third read, we're moving the ball, and we're moving the ball fast. We're hard to stop. And then all of a sudden we get slowed and shut down. So whether that's a Jimmy issue, making sure that everybody's on the same page and executing, whether it's the offensive line not executing, not getting, tacking at the point of attack and making push, making first contact, whatever needs to change, it needs to be dealt with. And it does start with Josh McDaniels. But I hate to think that he's not trying. I highly doubt that. East Bay Wild game. Nick 209 knows what's up. Nick 209 does know what's up. He comes with great insight. Raider Dangerfield. I was talking about the trenches. 100%. Yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah, Raider Dangerfield. Like the trenches, it's very frustrating not to see the trenches perform. Primarily on defense. But in a run blocking game, I don't know. To me, it just in the run blocking game, it's a man sport, right? Playing defensive line, playing offensive line, it's like that's like the man sport, right? It's strength on strength. You're attacking, you're manhandling, you're pushing, you're pulling, you're trying to toss some people around, you're trying to manipulate the other person to go a certain direction. You got to outmuscle, you got to outman your opponent if you're in the trenches. That's what we're not seeing in the run game anyway. And why can we do it in the pass game and not in the run game is beyond me. Juan Tescarano, does McDaniels... Does McDaniels have too much on his plate? Does he need a better OC? Maybe someone older? No. He's the master. He's always been in a position to where he was the OC. Now he's the head coach. And I think it's best that you take somebody like Lombardi and you raise him up in the system. It's much easier. It's harder to teach an old dog new tricks. If there's one out there that he can grab that knows what he's been doing and has worked with him before, maybe. As far as McDaniels having too much on his plate, you know what, Juan? That's a great point because it's been reported, and Lombardi himself reported it, that Josh has his hands on everything. And he should. He's the head coach. So he's over there working with Patrick Graham, trying to get Patrick Graham motivated and seeing things a certain way, whether it's helping him recognize what other teams are doing on offense. Maybe he gives some insight of how maybe this type of defense or coverage could help. Whatever the case may be. Is that causing a problem? I'm not going to say it's not. Some coaches have trouble with that, right? Some coaches have. It's about time management. But the guy's been coaching for a long time. I don't think it should be that hard for him to be able to slot enough time to address the defense, to have meetings with Patrick Graham, get everything lined up, and then go handle his business on offense. I mean, if he's trying to get too involved with the defense, that would be a distraction. So hopefully that's not happening. Nick 209, hit them likes. Nick, thank you very much. If you're here, hit that like button. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be updated every time we go live. that Raiders fan, are you sold on Andre James? Man, that's a good one, man. He hit me with a good one, y'all. Let me think about it for a minute. I don't hate Andre James. You know what I mean? The guy is extremely athletic. He puts in the work. He's quick. It takes a lot. He has really quick hands. He's able to hike the ball and bam, and really explode. Where I think he struggles and he becomes a problem is his size. He's not necessarily the biggest center in the league. In fact, he's probably the shortest, right? So could that become a problem? Yeah, I think so. You know, I think so. But I like him. I don't think he makes as many mistakes as people think. Do I want him around long term? No, he's one of those positions I wouldn't mind getting a bigger body, but I want the right body. I mean, he's definitely, to me, he's like a Jimmy G. Bridge guy. We need to find someone. I mean, I know someone was talking about this week sliding Parham over. Or Parham. Yeah, I don't know. Parham. Should we? No. Because I think they saw that and they don't want it either. Roland Dubs. If Jacobs has an average year, do the Raiders... Oh, wait. If Jacobs has an average year, do the Raiders let him walk after the season? Well, from what I've learned from this regime, I wanted to think about it before I spoke. I just didn't want to put the first thing that comes to my head. The way that I've seen this regime handle themselves, short answer to that is no. They know what Josh Jacobs is. Josh Jacobs knows who he is. He knows the way that you get paid in this league is to do what he did last year. And they agreed. They settled on the price. He's here on this football team. He has another opportunity, and I don't think the Raiders expect him to be the league leading rusher again and go for 1,700. But he needs to perform. He needs to show that he's still Josh Jacobs, that he still cares about this team and the game. And I know that he will. He'll get going. Come on, you know he'll get going. I mean, they have to. They have to figure it out. You can't be that good and have that many weapons and not figure it out, right? They love his work ethic. They love his heart. He says he loves being a Raider. He loves being in Vegas. He loves, so I think it's going to work out. What it really comes down to, this regime and Josh Jacobs in this regime, is always, just like every player, money. Money. But anybody who thought that he should be paid $16 million to get him here earlier, I'm kind of glad we didn't give him that $16 million. Just saying. 12 is where I had it. I think he's earned it. He deserves to have that. Because remember, if we would have given him the option, he wouldn't even get the money he's making now. Ray Gonzalez, it's gonna be up to the offense to win games. Yep, 100%. Chandler Jones being out, the D's. With Chandler Jones being out, it really hurts the D line. D line's potential. Sink or swim. Graham needs to figure it out. This is where Graham needs to really step up and make something happen. He's got to find an answer because the answer's not there. Not yet. High hopes for Kuntz. It's been very inconsistent. We can't win on Max Crosby alone on the front. Somebody, one of these young bucks, whether it's young, whether you're bringing Nessa Jade Silva into the mix and see if he can find a spark in the middle of this defense, someone's got to come up, step up, and start making plays in the middle and be secondary to Max, or we're going to struggle. It's a lot of pressure you put on your secondary, which is almost forcing us to play back deeper, which in return is getting our reaction time and running to the football on these short passes, and we're giving too many yards up. Can't stop them, can't get off the field. They're eating up the clock and scoring points. It's got to stop. Jumpman 23, what's up, my brother? What's up, Knight? Good to see you here, man. Raider John. Andre James was a bit right through him. Whoa. I jumped again, sorry. Andre James was a bit of a revolving door in his last game. The D linemen were walking right through him. You know what, though, John? He didn't give up a sack, and I know he hurt the run game. And I think Andre James, going back to the last question of how I feel about Andre James, like I said, he has the tools. He's got quick hands. He's one of those guys that it has to be right all around him too, right? The guards got to do their job. He's limited. His size limits him from being able to do too much there, because there's plays that he pulls it off and there's plays that he don't. It's a matchup game. Do I think that makes him vulnerable? Yeah, a little bit. That's why I said, to me, he's a bridge player. We need to find his replacement. And it's going to take a lot of these other things to work out for us to do so. Now, because of the decisions and how all this worked out with Chandler Jones and whatnot, now we're looking, what are we going to do in the draft? I know it's early. I'm not going to get into any drafts or anything like that. What I'm saying is, what do we do if the defensive line don't find the answer, especially in the middle? That becomes a huge need again. Now it's looking like, unless Tyree starts stepping it up, we may need to find another defensive end. Do we need a right guard? I like the way the linebackers are developing. That's a bright spot that I'm excited for. So, it's still early. We got to let a lot of things develop. We're rolling dubs. Do we trade up into the draft to grab Jimmy G's replacement next draft? Would love for him to learn behind Jimmy G for a season. Let me see if I miss if you mentioned a player, because my eyes jump around. Do we trade up? Do we trade up in the draft? Do we trade up in the draft to grab Jimmy G's replacement? Here's my thought on that. I talked about this last night as well. When it comes to Jimmy G's replacement, it really comes down on how this offense flows under Jimmy G this year. I personally believe that Aiden O'Connell showed every bit of mechanical need to run this system perfectly for Josh McDaniels. And he's gotten a lot. He's already showed that he picked it up. He showed that he's got great mechanics. He's picking it upstairs. He's processing it mentally. He's got to learn the speed of the game. He's got to learn how to study, how to prepare, how to do in-game adjustments, sideline adjustments, work with his teammates. There's a lot that he's learning right now. If Jimmy G can get this offense rolling and get it going and humming and doing right, we might have them. But the only way we'll know is to play him. Now, if we're winning, Jimmy G's not coming off the field unless he gets hurt. Or the wheels fall off and we make that move. But I don't think we trade up in the draft at all until we test Aiden O'Connell fully. And we'll know. We'll know by the end of the season where we're at with that. That Raiders fan. I missed the 2016 offensive line with Hudson, Jackson, Osamele. Yep, it was great. And that was one of my favorite offensive lines in recent history. Big dudes, big physical dudes that played with toughness, dominated the point of contact, pushed the line around. I would have loved to see Josh Jacobs run behind those guys. That Raiders fan. And Penn, Donald Penn as well. Rolling dubs. Shoot, I forgot about Aiden O'Connell. Now you're good, bro. Like, we forgot about him because he's not really doing it. He's been inactive. Well, he's inactive, but he's our emergency quarterback. So even though he shows up on the inactive list, he's down as an emergency quarterback. So if it's the Purdy rule, right? If Jimmy G goes down, yes, it has to be Brian Hoyer that comes in. If Hoyer goes down, then Aiden O'Connell is allowed to come into the game, but only if both quarterbacks are out. So he doesn't take up a roster spot, but they're allowed to have him as an emergency quarterback on the sidelines, which in return works out for us so well because it allows him to be out there dressed, ready, be really in the mix, and really acting like at any moment he could be thrown in there. Raider John, car insurance. Oh my God. Oh, memories. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Can't believe you went there. Out of all people to take it there, you took it there. Did I miss something above? Dang. No, but honestly, this Sunday night, we need to see two things. Two things change this all the way around, right? And it's got to be the point of emphasis in practice right now and all week. Number one, run, run, run. These offensive linemen need to win at the line of scrimmage. They need to take care of this, period. Period. It's the number one thing that needs to change. The other thing that needs to change offensively for us to win, to really kind of separate ourselves from the Steelers and any other team we play with the way their defense plays right now, and that's a conversation for tomorrow, we got to pass the ball to more than just two Raiders. If we get Jacoby back, Devontae's back, get Hunter going if it's going to be Hunter, get Tucker involved, get Hooper and going, get Mayer going, give the rookie a shot. We need to see these weapons all together. We need to put it all together. It has to start. Like I said, again, I'm not saying that we have to necessarily score 50 freaking points. But we got to give our defense time to rest, time to figure things out. And just like last year, that's the way it was last year, man. Bend, don't break, give up a little bit here and there, make enough stops, and let the offense create the separation to win the game. That's what this offense is the key to us winning. And John's here. You know how hard and painful it is for me to say that. I'm tired of saying it, but it's the truth. It's the truth. One day I'll be able to sit up here and tell you, you can't score on our defense. We're too dang good. I've never been able to say that with a straight face in a very long time. But it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, guys, I think we'll wrap it up here. I'll give you guys the floor. If you guys have anything you want to add to the equation, pop it up in the chat right now. We'll go over it real quick. Other than that, I think I'm going to start wrapping this thing up. This Offense Wednesday edition. Strike Vader. Love the name, by the way. Let's see here. Shout out to the illest future gas situation. What? Attendant of our time. Sir Bilal, I ain't worth 2 nickels. Bilal nickels. It took me a second. Damn eyes. This is where I wish I could read longer statements like that. That was okay. Now I'm going to reread it now that I understand it better. Shout out to the illest future gas station attendant of our time. Are there even still gas attendants? I know maybe if you live in Oregon. Are you from Oregon? Sir Bala, I ain't worth 2 nickels. I love that, man. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Bala Nichols has become a bust for us, for sure. It is not working out. Ray Gonzalez, Graham must dial up some blitzes. Yeah, we're going to get into that tomorrow heavy, some blitz packages. Can't let Pickett have time. Not at all. We're going to get into that heavy tomorrow, Ray. The Raiders, that Raiders fan, the Steelers offense doesn't scare me. It's a great opportunity to get some practice in. They don't scare me either. We're going to get into more of that tomorrow too, but there's some things that we have to do. It's not the Steelers that scare me. It's the Raiders defense that scares me. Okay, it doesn't scare me. Just hoping our O-line dominates their defensive line, 100%. I can't wait to get into the defensive side of that tomorrow because I think it matters. Strike Vader. I'm basically saying Nichols sucks. No, I know what you're saying, brother. I got you. No, I understand. Let's see. There's another one up here. Optical 76. Raiders need address the D tackle position. We're going to get into that heavy tomorrow night. We're going to be talking heavy defense tomorrow night. That Raiders fan, Nichols gets paid to do nothing. Yeah, that's the kind of job I wish I had. Raider John, facts. Spread the ball around. Yep. Spread the ball around. Live someone. Spread the ball around live. Told someone that Jimmy isn't playing because he's used to having weapons. Dude has a plethora of them. Yeah, so basically someone said that Jimmy is used to having weapons. Now, again, he may be used to having people that he could dump it off in the backfield and they could, I mean, come on, Christian McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle. I get it. He had weapons over there too, but I mean, speed helps. Speed kills. Speed's awesome. Yes, speed. I love it. But we have weapons too, and they can kill you in several different ways. So, he has weapons. Here, he just ain't using them all. 100%. Dude, that's a freaking great statement. I agree 100%. Strike Vader. Yeah, man. Nothing happening at all. Nothing happening at all of our deep tackles. Somebody, seriously. Damn, dude. I'm having trouble. That's why I know I got to go. My eyes are starting to get tired. Someone seriously's gotta help Max. 100%. We're going to get heavy in that tomorrow. I don't know who that's going to be. We don't have that answer on this football team right now, in my opinion. It's going to have to be defensive end by committee, and we've been seeing that, and it hasn't worked out. So hopefully something catches fire. That Raiders fan, bring back Tommy Kelly. Shit. Oh, I've heard it all now. Anyways, guys, my eyes are shot. They're tired. I'm having struggle reading. I'm starting to read more and more like a first grader. So I'm going to go out of here. I feel like I hear Adam Sandler behind me. Today, Junior. And I'm like, yeah, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. Strike Vader. Ain't no reason the score for them to score 10 points. Dang, it jumped on me again. To score 10 points with the weapons we have offensively. Not at all. Doesn't make any sense. JN, bring back Kenny Stabler. Now, there you go. There you go. I'll take Kenny Stabler all day. All day, every day. And twice on Sunday. All right, guys, I'm going to call it here. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. Once again, you make this easy for me. Thank you for being understanding. Thank you for letting me being out here advocating for people who have sight loss, people who are vision impaired or blind, how we use technology to come out here and do what we do. Kenny, thanks for being here, brother. Kenny is a part of Independently Blind. He's my partner over at Independently Blind. I'll bring him on one day. Big Raider fan. Me and him will chop it up some too, do some football stuff. Strike Vader. Rob Ryan is drinking turkey gravy on the sideline. Hey, you know what? He could drink whatever he wants. If Patrick Graham gets fired, I want to bring his brother on. I want the Ryan brothers to run our defense if Patrick Graham goes. Open up the wallet. Get Rex back. That's the kind of defensive coordinator I think this team needs right now, for sure. Roland Dubs, thanks for coming on. Have a great night. 100% Roland Dubs. Thank you guys for being here. Strike like Vader. Take it easy, homie. You too, brother. All right, guys. I want to thank Strike Vader for being here. Roland Dubs, Ray Gonzalez. Who else was here tonight? JN, thank you for being here. Arkham Raider was here. Robert Pena was here. Raider John was in the house. That Raiders fan doing what he does. Nick 209 dropping his knowledge. Raider Ben showed up early. Raider Dangerfield was in the house. Who else we had in the house tonight? I know I'm missing somebody. I'm going to regret it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Ethical 76, if I'm saying your name right, was in the house. Appreciate you joining. Thank you for the comment. Make sure you guys come back tomorrow. I made shout out Ray Gonzalez. We're going to be talking defense. Let's talk it out. Let's put everything on the table. What can we do to turn this thing around defensively? Rolling Dubs, my brother, always respect. What can we do defensively to change it around? Especially from a defensive line perspective. We need to find an answer. We need something. We need a spark. Jumpman 23, so glad that you made it, man. Thank you. Remember, on your way out, hit that like button, the notification bell, and the subscribe button. Till next time, stay Raider strong. Night out.